Sorry if I'm not looking as energetic today. I am a bit tired. I've had a long day today, so I'm probably going to be a little more low key than I usually am. But yeah, today I'm back. Hello, my name's Britton, also known as Some Okie Dude, and today I'm going to be covering a new book. I'm going to be talking about The Fight from Norman Mailer. This is another one of those books that aren't covered as much. And there are a couple of reviews of this book online. You can go check them out on YouTube, but not a lot of them. And I'm going to be one of the people who reviews it, so that if anyone is interested in reading them, I'm definitely going to be talking about it. As you can tell from the title picture, it's about Muhammad Ali. I read The Fight because I am a big fan of fighting sports. I like boxing. I like MMA. I'm more of an MMA guy now because boxing has kind of gone a little whack in these last couple of years. But this book is about my personal favorite boxer, of course, Muhammad Ali. I know, a very cliche choice, but he is legitimately the greatest. I mean, really not much else to say aside from that. I also wanted to read books that were about. I also wanted to read books of journalism, because that is my trade. I am a journalist. I work at my school's newspaper. That is what I do for a living right now. And so because I like to try and read as much as possible, I decided to read The Fight because I've heard it's good sports journalism, and it's one of the best sports journalist books ever made. Did I enjoy The Fight? Yeah, I enjoyed The Fight. It's a very well-written, compact, very short book, very easily readable. You can get through it pretty quickly. You could probably read it in a sitting if you wanted, but I read it in like 3 days. So why did I enjoy this book? I enjoyed this book because I enjoyed the book. Well, one, I really enjoyed the writing style. It's not hard to read. It's very compact. Very Hemingway-esque, if you want to compare it to one writer, which is funny because Norman Mailer brings it up. Admittedly, he is not subtle about his inspirations in this book. He mentions Ernest Hemingway. He also mentions The Heart of Darkness, which I actually have right here. I got the Penguin version with the Mike Mignola cover art. I'm very, very... I really enjoy this version of the book. That's what I bought, and I'm a big fan of Heart of Darkness. It's one I'd like to cover on here one day. But what did I like about this book? Like I said, I enjoyed the writing style. And I also think that this book here really captures what makes Muhammad Ali such a great... what made him such a dynamic fighter. And it wasn't the fact that he just talked shit. It was the fact that he wanted to be the greatest. And he proved it by fighting all of the greatest fighters of his day. Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, which is what this book is about, in fact. He fought a lot of fighters. Unlike people like Floyd Mayweather, who basically just uses the boxing arena to his advantage and just kind of love taps his way to victory. Muhammad Ali's ego made it to where he was driven to win, and that's really what I respect so much about Muhammad Ali. And this also shows his skill as a fighter, because he was unbelievable at several things. He was fast. He was also, his maneuverability was ridiculous, and also considering the fact that he had to adjust his style as we figure out in the fight, because he was getting older, if you want to consider older. In the boxing world, when you're in your 30s, you start being viewed as older. I also love the fighting stuff. I really loved how he wrote them. Exciting, bombastic, filled with so much energy. You could almost feel the sparks coming off of the writing, which is probably my favorite aspect of the book. Seriously, chapters 13 to 15, which is the fight, the titular fight, might be some of the best action sequences I have read in any type of book that I've read. Even if you are not a sports fan, you could get a great pointer on how to write a compelling action sequence. Well, without being Robert E. Howard, of course. Anyway, but I enjoyed that aspect of the book. There's also a political undercurrent, which admittedly could get a little rambly at times, but it's really where the Heart of Darkness reference I mentioned earlier comes from. The part that this book takes place in, the place is in Africa, of course, because the Rumble in the Jungle took place in Zaire, I think is what it's called. Yes, Zaire. I probably butchered that. I apologize if they're from there, but if you don't know, that is where the Free Congo State used to be. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to mention it here, but you can look it up. It is very harrowing, probably the nastiest case of European colonialization. And this book really explores that not much has really changed from that time. It's almost like the population has just been traded from one dictator to another, though this dictator isn't quite as bloodthirsty or monstrous as the previous tyrant who oppressed them. And there's almost that sense of defeat in this book, as much as there is about the fight and the build-up to it and the eventual action stuff, eventual action of the fight, which I really enjoyed. I will admit, though, this isn't a perfect book. I'll admit there is some bits that are of its time. It is a little racist, a little bit, not too bad. It's not like H.P. Lovecraft or anything like that, but it's certainly there. And if you're uncomfortable with that, I probably wouldn't recommend picking this up. I mean, if you... it's not that bad. I don't think Norman Mailer condones racism or is particularly a racist by any means. But he has some opinions in this, or there's some things in this book that definitely made me uneasy at points. He literally calls Africans blacks with a capital B, always. And that kind of made me uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, boy. That didn't age well, but mostly he portrays the Africans in a pretty sympathetic light, so it's not like he's just, again, it's not like H.P. Lovecraft or, it's not any white man burden type of bullshit. But, yeah, I enjoyed the fight. I think it was a fantastic book. It's certainly a book, maybe it's not for everybody, but I would recommend a lot of people read this because it genuinely is a fantastic read. And if you're a fan of Muhammad Ali like I am, pick it up. You will not regret it. I enjoyed Muhammad Ali quite a bit, and Norman Mailer clearly writes with a sense of awe of the man's talent. And this book is a very well done illustration of just what a phenomenal boxer he was, and the fact that he didn't just talk shit to do it. He backed his shit up. And that's what's fun about Muhammad Ali. You could even watch Rumble in the Jungle while reading this, and you could probably just feel, like, literally, that's what I like about the fight scenes in this. You could literally feel the fight happening off the page. And that's really what I enjoyed the most about this book. This is certainly one that I will read. I would like to read this again at some point, but the read I had this time around, really enjoyed it. I think it's a really good book. It's a good one if you really like boxing. It's also good if you like action stuff, but read it if you want to know how to write a good action scene, because this book, let me tell you, great. But yeah, I'm going to put it down. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I really have nothing else to say rather than this book was fantastic. Go read it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am actually considering starting a Discord soon, so that you can come and talk to me, and just talk to me about whatever. But you can also find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, Goodreads. I write reviews on there. Twitter, you can just see me fucking sound off about stuff. But yeah, so that was my review of the fight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. So take care, everyone, and have a nice day.